Tonight, we race headlong into the strange, the unexplained, and the downright unbelievable. From Aaron Rodgers gearing up to tackle extraterrestrials to baffling drone sightings paired with the lamest excuses you've ever heard. An ancient alien artifact has been uncovered. What secrets does it hold? Bobby Mackey's restless spirits might be packing their bags, but where are they headed? And URI Geller sends a cryptic warning. Are we prepared for what's coming? Plus, stories of near-death experiences just might change the way you view the afterlife. It's weird. It's wild. It's the only news you need to know. With your Paranormal 60 News team, me, Dave Schrader, Chachi, and the paranormal detective Greg Lawson. Buckle up, Darklings. The truth is out there. And if we're not too careful, we may accidentally uncover it right here on the Paranormal 60 News. Good evening, my Darklings. Thank you so much for joining us. It is another night of strange and unusual news from around the world. And joining me now, ladies and gentlemen, because you demanded it, because he has a little time off, the one, the only, the Chachi is back, a.k.a. the Caroler of the Bells. Good evening, Chachi.
Good evening, Dave. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. What are you drinking tonight?
A little Glenlivet tonight.
Oh,
you know me. Nice. Try to keep it on the DL.
Yes, that's the one thing I know so well about you.
Count on me.
Yeah, you can count on you to always keep it on the DL. Ladies and gentlemen, now joining us from his underground bunker somewhere between Area 51 and an In-N-Out burger, the paranormal detective himself, Greg Lawson. Good evening, Greg.
Hey, old buddies. How you doing?
Doing well, my friend.
Shirt he's wearing.
Yeah, it is very so checkered and such. Yeah, you like I'm wearing my when he calls this my Sparky sweater. It's my Clark Griswold style button-up cardigan.
Yeah, that's nice.
Did I happen to notice a newly trimmed beardage?
Yeah, Greg has totally shaved off his beard and mustache.
Yes.
Yeah.
I shaved off 42 years of my beard and mustache.
Looks good, buddy. You look a week and a half younger.
Look like I'm 18 again.
Yeah, you do. What are you drinking tonight, Greg?
You know what? I think I've decided something other than Jameson Orange.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like bourbon straight up like that. I don't like Scotch straight up. I realize since I haven't seen Chachi face to face in 2 years, and I have not been drinking that stuff over ice, I realize I feel a lot better about myself
and the decisions you make.
Have I shared with you how happy I've been for the last 2 years?
Tonight, I decided the only thing I drink, I drink Scotch and bourbon by the shot. So a little Jameson there, and I got a little Peroni straight from, you can't see it, it's a ghost Peroni, straight from Italy. Yeah.
Right from Italy?
Yeah, it doesn't have all the poisons and carcinogens and stuff in it that makes my heart do weird stuff. I can drink a Budweiser and I'll get transported, but I can drink Peroni all day long and I'm fine.
Have you had a McRib recently, Greg?
Oh man, once a year, dude. I usually go to the park. I sit there and I don't even try to keep myself clean, and I just eat it, and it's just everywhere.
I've got video footage. He's just sitting there in nothing but his underwear, covered in McDonald's barbecue sauce and onion slivers.
It's called McRib juice, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah. You know, but I'm going to do it again. When's it going to be out, Dave?
It's out right now, buddy. Right now. You better get to it. It goes away at the end of December.
God, I got to start watching the news or something.
Dave, so I was thinking the other day,
Uh-huh.
you know, I was going to we're doing our gift exchange tonight, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I was trying to decide what to get you.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, how great would it be to give you a McDonald's gift card. But
Pretty
then I
great.
started thinking back.
Oh,
For those of us that are older than 22, do you remember when you used to
Yes.
be able to buy booklets of the McDonald's 50 cents each, right?
Oh,
You
yes.
get 10 for $5. And I'm
Oh,
like, that won't even, I could buy a booklet and that wouldn't buy you an entire sandwich.
no, it wouldn't. Not anymore. That's for darn
However,
tootin'.
if you look on eBay, a single one of those 50-cent coupons are now going for $20. So
Are you serious?
I bought you. Oh, I shouldn't. I'll hold it till later.
It is like McRib Bitcoin.
Essentially, the value has skyrocketed more than Bitcoin.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's pretty amazing.
Hmm.
Good stuff. Yeah. Well, let's introduce the fourth member of tonight's team, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet Tea.
Oh, wow.
I said Sweet Tea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's not joining us tonight. She's off visiting her son for the holidays.
Her
And
son?
I said, but what about the viewers? What about the followers that look at that little sparkle in your eye, your mixed drink, and are always excited to see the feminine side of the show? And she said, tell them to eat me. And that was it.
What?
Yeah. I
At
was just
Christmas
as
time?
surprised.
The
Right.
holidays?
I know. I go,
Now,
you're not even a gingerbread man. But she refused to show up tonight. She said, nope, not going to do it. I begged her. I said, can't you use your laptop from the hotel lobby? And she said, no, Dave, I'm with my son. And that's more important than you idiots will ever be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now I feel bad for excommunicating my own children for her.
Don't you do that every week, Dave? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Hey, guys, it's very special this time of year, and I always like to bring something a little different to the mix. So let's begin tonight's show with this.
It's time now for Upon Further Review.
All right, I wanted to dig deep into the archives of movies and stumbled upon one that I was blown away from the very early 80s. And I popped it on, started watching it, and I thought, I need to share this movie with our unexpecting audience. See, it's this chilling tale of two unsuspecting brothers that are drawn to the darkened halls of a mental asylum, a long abandoned institution steeped in dark secrets. And what begins as an investigation into strange local rumors unravels into a nightmarish descent into the unknown. Within the asylum's shadowy halls, they uncover the horrifying remnants of cruel experiments in mind control and the lingering presence of a supernatural force that defies comprehension. Among the restless spirits that haunt the asylum is the tormented ghost of a murdered man, his cries for justice echoing through the decaying corridors, his anguished spirit pleading with the brothers to uncover the truth of his death, leading them deeper into a web of betrayal, madness, and paranormal terror. As they unravel the asylum's sinister past, they awaken forces that were best left undisturbed. And with time running out, the brothers must solve the ghost's murder and confront the malevolent entity that seeks to claim them and a beautiful young stranger as its next victims. This harrowing journey through the veil of life and death delivers relentless suspense and supernatural thrills that will haunt audiences long after the credits roll. And gentlemen, I will tell you, without a doubt, this movie earns 5 out of 5 phantoms for me. Shall we take a look at the trailer?
Is that the first 5 out of 5 Phantom?
No. They've been there before.
Somewhere behind granite battlements, beyond impenetrable gates, indoors, something evil is brewing, and it isn't Elsinore beer. Here, an unsuspecting heiress has become the innocent pawn of a diabolical genius. At his command, space-age super lasers that can incinerate an entire metropolis. An army of deadly hockey warriors. At his fingertips, lots of beer.
Just one more test,
Then we're ready for the world. What fool dares stand in his way?
Good day, I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug. How's it going, eh? Welcome to our movie, eh?
At last, television's Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis have just hit the great white screen. These are the adventures of Bob and Doug McKenzie, Strange Brew.
That's private company business.
Perhaps one of these would refresh your memory, eh?
The gallant champions of truth.
He's lying, all right. I don't need no machine to tell me that, eh? I didn't do it, I swear. It must be them.
Justice.
I think it's time the little lady and I had a chat.
And the pursuit of bad guys.
We will move towards Oktoberfest as planned.
I can't believe it. He drank it all.
Oh, no!
And I will not underestimate our little friends again.
With Max Foncido,
Shut up!
Paul Dooley,
You murdered him first. He was already dead when I killed him.
Lynn Griffin,
If I didn't have puke breath, I'd kiss you.
and an all-star cast.
Take off, you boy. You take off, you nut. Okay.
Don't miss the biggest, the grandest, the first Mackenzie Brothers movie of all time. The Adventures of Bob and Doug McKenzie.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
That's it. We're leaving, kids. Come on.
Strange Brew.
You hoes, they wanted to see our movie, now they're mad at us. Take off. It's only a preview, eh? I didn't want to show them the best part. Okay, so that's our topic for today. So good day.
Hey, you guys. Back up.
Classic movie. Classic supernatural thriller. Imagine my surprise when I revisited that movie and realized there are ghosts, there is an unsolved murder, and paranormal aspects to the entire flick. I knew I had to share it with you, my best friends, and the audience of thousands.
And you are seeing a young Dave Thomas before opening his first Wendy's.
It's a different Dave Thomas.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
misled.
Yeah, very, very much so. Did you guys see that movie when it originally came out?
I did, and I probably haven't seen it since. So it's probably, what's it been, 40 years, 42 years?
Probably pretty well, 81. It came out in
40.
1981.
7.
Yeah, Ryan at the top said he thought that the budget was about $250 and a 6-pack of Schlitz.
No, it was probably Moosehead Lager, if we're being honest about it.
Was that
I love that.
an international film, Dave?
Yes, it was a huge international movie. It made hundreds of dollars back.
You know,
Strange Brew. Strange Brew. Check it out, and you'll not be dissatisfied. If you are, you're just not an American. You're probably
That
Canadian.
was a 5 Phantom movie, you said, correct?
5 Phantom. I love that movie. That is one of, there are 2 movies that I watch. If I'm flipping through the cable channels and it pops up, there are 2 movies that stop me dead in my tracks. Actually, let's go 3. 3 movies that stop me dead in my tracks every time. Strange Brew, Flash Gordon. Yes. Doom, 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 doom. That movie does it for me every time as well. What do you think the third movie, gentlemen? What do you think is the third movie that stops old Darkness Dave in his tracks and he forces himself to sit back, relax, and enjoy it no matter what time of year it is? And we'll watch it.
I think it's a tie.
Mhm.
I'll throw it out there. We'll let the audience decide.
Mhm.
My assumption, based upon what I know about you, is it would be either The Notebook or Titanic.
Those are interesting guesses. Greg, would you care to weigh in with something more logical?
yeah, I think it's probably Muppet Christmas.
I do love a
Ooh.
Muppet Christmas Carol. That is a pretty good movie. Yeah, not to be confused with a very Muppet Christmas, which is something totally different.
I
And
think you mentioned, wasn't it Beastmaster?
no,
No.
that's another good one.
Flesh
Yeah.
Gordon.
Yeah, no, not Flesh Gordon, Flash Gordon.
Oh,
Strange
seen that
Brew.
one.
And let's see
Is
if
it a
any
comedy?
you want this is how tired I've had 4
Wait.
hours sleep. I've been out all day working on WCCO radio. I had my doctor's appointment to try to figure out what's going on with my arm. And I cannot remember what the third movie is right now. I had it 2 minutes ago. I was really hoping one of you guys might know it so that I'd be like, yes, that's it.
Brian Russell says it's a Young Frankenstein. I would go with that. No. Oh, wow.
I bet it's like some
no
older,
quick.
obscure kind of movie. Some sort of Scooby-Doo-ish kind of thing.
Probably Grease or something like that.
Yeah, no, Grease 2, definitely.
Not the first one.
When it hits me, it'll hit me and I'll remember. For no lack of trying, I can't remember it right now. I'm very tired and I'm already halfway into my drink tonight.
Hey,
so that could be part of it. Yeah.
Look at that.
Shake said Deep Throat.
No.
You know what's funny?
Said Blazing Saddles. These are all right up your alley.
Yeah.
They are, but they're not ones that stop me in my tracks and make me watch them. The new one that is added to my mix is The Greatest Showman. Willy Wonka. That's it. Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka. That's my third one that I will stop and watch no matter what part of the movie I catch it in, and I will watch it through its entirety because I love it.
The new one?
No, Gene Wilder.
No, I'm asking you your opinion of the new one.
With Timothée Chalamet? The
I have
prequel?
not seen that one.
I liked it. I did. Not the Johnny Depp one. Sucked hard. As a matter of fact, I want to go find Tim Burton's mom and punch her in the throat for allowing her son to make that crap movie.
That was horrible, right? That was the one with the cloned Oompa Loompa.
Yeah,
basically they had one Oompa Loompa thing. And
yeah, Deep Roy played all of the Oompa Loompas. It's a horrible junk movie, but the one with Timothée Chalamet is a good one. Speaking of Timothée Chalamet, he's got a new movie coming out at Christmas called
Bob Dylan, right? Or
he's Bob Dylan's movie, and I can't remember the name of that one either. Willy Wonka
songs, right?
Great Unknown. What is it? Like a Complete Unknown. That's what it is.
Like a really song, but
it's called A Complete Unknown. And he did all the singing, playing of guitar, and the harmonica in that movie. Timothée Chalamet.
Have y'all ever tried to listen to a podcast and the guys just keep talking about stuff that they just don't get to the
those are my favorite podcasts because I think I'm going to learn at that point, Greg. But usually they have a third person who doesn't say much because they're just there to learn.
He just sits there turning different shades of purple and being very unhappy. Let's get to it. We've got stories because apparently Greg wants to hear supernatural news.
Do we have any emails first, though?
We have no emails. That is Monday's show. I've removed you guys from the emails. It is now Sarah Lemos and Scotty Davis, the mediums, will join me, and they'll be here Monday. So if you have any questions for Scotty or Sarah, you can email me, dave@paranormal60.com. We'll be reading those and sharing them on Monday night. We're doing that once a month together. Yes, Chachi. Yes.
No, I was going to tell Greg, if he wants, I have a ton of email from Amazon that I can read. I've got packages about to be delivered, close to being delivered, might be delivered. Sorry, we're delayed. It's going to get there tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's usually how those emails go recently.
They do.
Well, that's because the gated community, it's hard to get in there, man, if you don't know anybody or anything.
Let's read your story, Greg.
No, it's my story. I start off. I don't know if you're
familiar with this show. Who goes last?
I do, but I think you're right before me.
All right. I better get going. Go ahead.
Yeah. So listen, if you have to have been living under a rock to not have been made aware of the stories that are blowing up all over right now regarding all the drone activity that's being seen around the United States. And there's a key U.S. Air Force base that has closed their airspace because of the drone sightings. So the drone activity caused Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, one of the United States' most critical military installations, to close its airspace for nearly 4 hours late on Friday into early Saturday last week. Authorities monitored the drones, referring to it as small unmanned aerial systems, and confirmed no impact on base residents, facilities, or assets. During the incident, air traffic control warned aircraft to exercise caution due to heavy UAS movement. while base security forces handled the situation. Wright-Patterson, spanning 8,000 acres and home to over 38,000 personnel, houses key Air Force operations, including the Air Force Research Lab, Air Force Material Command, and the National Air and Space Intelligence Center, which focus on countering technological threats and identifying air, space, and cyber risks. The base also hosts the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force and played a historic role in the 1995 Dayton Peace Accords. Now, the incident follows a growing number of drone sightings near and around U.S. military and nuclear facilities and critical infrastructure, including Picatinny Arsenal and Naval Weapons Station Earl in New Jersey. Officials, however, emphasize, hey, there's no evidence these sightings pose any security threat. Former FBI officials note that increased drone activity and heightened public scrutiny may be contributing to misidentification or copycat behaviors, exposing gaps in airspace security. Authorities continue to investigate, urging residents to report suspicious drone activity. Meanwhile, experts stress the need for greater transparency and coordination among officials to address this growing concern. Now, I think this has got to be one of the dumbest stories I've ever heard, because it closed down Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. It closed down 2 fully functioning United States airports in the last week, but yet it poses no threat. And, oh, we don't have to worry. These are not alien craft. They're hobbyists, and they're misidentified aircraft. So you mean to tell me that flying over Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which, Greg, you'll have to answer on this one because you're the military boy, isn't that considered like restricted airspace over military installations?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Yes.
I'm going to interject. I lived at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Greg, have you lived there?
I have not.
So next time, Dave, if there's a Wright-Patterson question, I need you to direct it towards me.
I thought you would be the wrong Patterson person to ask. See what I did there? Wright-Patterson, wrong Patterson. Woo! Yeah, I didn't know that you lived at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Chachi. Why?
So when I was born, Dave,
Uh-huh.
I can't tell you where. That's classified.
Okay.
But I was born at the Air Force Academy.
Oh.
And my father was deployed at the time. He was in the Air Force. And so they said they were going to send him home, and they were going to send him home to Wright-Patterson. So my mother and I moved to Wright-Patterson, awaiting my father's return from deployment.
Is there any truth to the matter that you were conceived in an Arby's parking lot?
There were no Arby's when I was conceived. That's how old I am, Dave.
Wow.
Yep.
And I'm older than you. That's terrifying. So what do you think? I mean, I did a whole show last Friday on drones, talking about the different theories, people wanting to shoot them down, President-elect Trump saying we should shoot them down. We talked about many of the different reasons we shouldn't. A, chuckleheads with guns should not be out shooting at drones. A, it's a federal offense. B, as one of the listeners brought up, what if it's got a dirty bomb and you shoot it and blow it up, sprinkling dirty bomb powder all over? I don't know. Is that how it's done? Anyway, it just seemed like there's a lot of issues. We should not be messing with these. But for the government to come out and say, there's nothing to worry about, yet they admit that they've closed down airports, nuclear facilities, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. If there's nothing to worry about, then why are they worried?
So when I lived at Wright-Patterson, I was approximately 1 month old. So I'm going to deflect to Greg on this question.
Oh, okay. So I was going to the right guy to begin with.
All along, yes.
Hey,
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Hey, buddy.
I because I did air detection and tracking when I was in the Navy, I have complete confidence the government knows exactly where these things are coming from and where they're going, and they're addressing them accordingly. I know I take my conspiracy theory hat off on this one and just go, you know what? There's some people that are going to either be getting in trouble or they're going to be changing some policies, because this is it's kind of concerning, but it's the media that's fueling this thing.
Well, it's not just media, though, Greg, because people are nervous. I mean, obviously, we have potential war on a couple different fronts on our planet right now. People that are, Russia threatening nuclear strikes because of our involvement, China stepping up and showing some concern. You've got a lot of things going on, and people are starting to see things in the skies over their property. We're being told this is nothing to worry about. Hobbyist drones. There are specific laws for you to be able to fly those drones.
Yes.
And it's not like it's just a couple. And they're saying, oh, some people are mistaking celestial bodies for these drones. I'm seeing the video footage. Now, I know that there's some of this footage that is old footage that's being repurposed and people are claiming it. So that does cause a problem. But that's not the media's fault. That's the jackasses that are putting out that footage saying it's brand new. However, I know somebody who lives in a pretty major metropolitan area who was alerted by his neighborhood society that there were drones. And not only were there a couple drones, when he watched and saw them firsthand, there were many drones in a residential area. Chachi, do you know anything more about this story?
I do. I learned kind of third hand about the story.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they had a Ring camera. So those of you that have Ring cameras, there's a community aspect to it where if you are in the area where you sign up your zip code or whatnot, it will notify you when things are happening in your area. And the pop-up said that someone said they saw 6 drones over this particular area just outside of Dallas, Texas. And so the said person immediately walked outside to see if it was true. And not only did they see those 6, additional started to fly into the area. Don't know exactly how many, probably 10 or 12, give or take. They did not fly in any sort of pattern like we have been seeing in New Jersey, but rather they were scattered around. Now, what I found interesting was when this person was sharing the story, they did not take any video of this. Now, how many times do we say, grab your camera, take a video, share it, right? And we all joke about those people that don't do it.
Right.
In this case, Dave, it was me. Me, Dave.
So you see 12 to 15 drones. Now, can you tell me, you're familiar with what drones look like the little hobbyist drones?
Have flown drones, yes.
Yes. Is it that, or are they aircraft? What can you tell us about your experience?
So what I saw was, and you could tell the difference between an aircraft and a drone purely based upon size. These were very low flying drones, I believe, very small in size, I would say, but not your typical 12, 14-inch Greg Lawson size, but rather more of 6 to 8 feet in size. I mean, they were large drones. And usually folks that buy them for their homes or for personal use aren't buying something that size, right? We can all go to Best Buy right now, and you can buy a drone that's, 12 to 18 inches in diameter. These things were much larger because it was almost hard to distinguish between an aircraft and the drone. And what I found very, very interesting was how they were coming from the west, heading east, and they just kept coming. And so if it was Greg or you or I individuals, we wouldn't be trying to do 6 or 8, 10 different drones flying at different times, different altitudes. We'd be flying them together. So this had to be if it was drones, it had to be some sort of coordinated effort amongst a community of drone owners where they all kind of met at the same time. What I found interesting is, unlike what was happening in New York or New Jersey, they didn't all show up in the same area. They were very, very spread out. What I said to my wife was, it felt like they were taking video of the area down below. At times you could see that, airplanes fly straight. These would move around, come back. Airplanes don't do that, right? So it's not an airplane. But it felt like they were surveilling, is the only word that I can come up with, surveilling the area. And after it was all done and they were out of kind of eyesight, I immediately thought to myself, why did I not grab my phone and take video of this? And so now, for the first time, I totally get these people that don't take videos and tell their stories about it, because I saw a message pop up. I went and saw what was happening, and I never once did I think, grab your phone and record this. I was so in the moment going, what the hell are these things doing, flying over an area just outside of Dallas that is highly, highly populated? No idea. And here's the craziest thing. So I come back inside, and there were about 20 or 22 posts below that original post saying, do you see these drones? I must have looked, I don't know, 5 minutes later, maybe, to see how many more posts were there. And the post that was originally put and all the comments had been removed. Now, I will ask those that are listening right now, if you've got a Ring camera, is this common where somebody posts something and it gets removed? I see people put posts out there about, hey, I've got a free guinea pig if somebody wants it. Hey, did anybody find out why this package wasn't delivered to my house? And that stuff stays on there for eternity. Yet this post about drones that got 20 postings in a couple minutes was all of a sudden removed. So then I started looking at other websites around to see anybody else posting it. And there was nothing out there about it.
But a lot of guinea pig packages.
A lot of guinea pig patches, no drones. And I've never seen it removed. So I would love to hear if anybody else has had that happen to them.
Well, there are a lot of these different social sites are being monitored, and if they see something that they feel is maybe misrepresenting, they will remove them. That's happened on Facebook. It's happened on X. And what's so funny is it's some stuff that just seems very innocuous. And why would this go on? But if they're afraid that you're propagating fear, and misinformation, they may be forced to pull some of that stuff down right now. And then there's the conspiratorial aspect of, why is this being hidden from us? And Greg, I know you said you believe in our government that they would, but this sounds really hinky. The more and more we're seeing of this.
The other thing I'll add in there is Austin Community College, where I work. In the same office that I work, all of the drone instructors are in that office. These are the guys that certify all of law enforcement in this area as far as drone operations. So I could have said, I could have been over at Smoky Mo's across the street getting a Mountain Dew and a chicken wrap. And at any time, the amount of drones we have coming out of our facility, there's a lot of them, and they're all different sizes and that sort of thing. So I'd love to jump on the bandwagon on this as far as like there's something else, but I really believe that whoever is doing this is either the government, a contractor of the government, or the government knows exactly who is doing it, where they're coming out of and where they're going to. And if that's the case, I can assure you there's some men in black that are visiting these folks that are flying in these spaces. Yeah, because if you can disable your GPS on your drone and get it to fly in some of these restricted areas, they're still going to know who you are and where you're flying from, and they're gonna it's gonna be it's a federal law violation.
Well, we mentioned last week on the news on Friday, one of the strange aspects of this is some of the people that have witnessed them as they're flying over their cars, the clocks on their cars will change and their GPS will start acting strange, as though they're no longer in that broadcast area. It's like the drones have taken over. There is footage, which I found fascinating, from a few different sources and sites that show some of these orange like bulb drones that are in the sky, and you'll see a hobbyist flying their drone up to it, and all of a sudden their drone just drops straight out of the sky, almost like it's being pinged or interrupted. And it's been happening. Quite a few people are reporting this type of phenomena as well. So we're going to keep an eye on this. I'll keep watching. I think it's interesting. There was a new article that came out today, a few hours before tonight's program, that said it's been confirmed that it's China. I started looking at it. but all the sources were like the New York Post and a few other sources that are known to not always get all the proper details. So I want to wait and see where we're going with this before we start adding to the mix of pointing a finger. But fear not, faithful listeners, because there is someone who does know what's going on. Not just one someone, two someones, very famous, and they're going to speak out about it. But we'll do that right after we do this. You know, the holidays aren't all joy and jingles. Behind the festive lights lies a shadowy history. And Jeff Belanger's Surviving Krampus and Other Yuletide Monsters, The Fright Before Christmas, is here to unwrap the history for you. This isn't your typical Christmas story. It's a fun, fascinating, and sometimes frightening deep dive into the forgotten folklore of the season. A world where Krampus isn't just a pop culture icon, but a devilish enforcer, ready to snatch naughty children. Where trolls, witches, and the Yule Cat stalk the snowy landscapes, and St. Nicholas's heavy-handed helpers bring more punishment than presents. Explore folklore from across the globe, from the elf-like Tomten to the terrifying Grilla, who drags the misbehaved to her mountain lair. Discover why the winter solstice, the darkest time of year, has always been a season to fear. Whether you're curling up by the fire or walking alone on a cold winter's night, The Fright Before Christmas will have you questioning every shadow. It's available in hardcover, audiobook, and CD, perfect for gifting to your favorite spooky season lover. So this holiday season, add a little more fright to your festive nights. Grab your copy of The Fright Before Christmas, available wherever you buy your favorite books, because nothing says Merry Christmas like a Yule Cat ready to pounce. With the holidays here, maybe you're looking for that last-minute stocking stuffer idea. Well, why not join me, along with my friend Scotty the Medium and Sarah Lemos, the Psychic Medium, and our good techie buddy Kevin Swanson for the Paranormal Science Fair. It is a paranormal investigative weekend taking place at Minnesota's most haunted hotel, the Palmer House Hotel in Sauk Center, Minnesota. Tickets are on sale right now. March 27th through the 30th is the weekend event. We have new presentations, gallery sessions, investigations, and more. It is a weekend you do not want to miss. So get off the couch, get into the game, become part of the investigation with me, Scotty, Sarah, and Kevin this March 27th through the 30th. You get more information at darknessevents.com. That's darknessevents.com. All right, friends, a hero is in the offing, ready to confront and face the terror in the skies above us. Chachi, who is this resilient hero?
Other than Greg Lawson?
Mm-hmm.
Who I want to say is my favorite stocking stuffer. Very clearly. Okay. Okay. Oh, God, I love Scotch. Listen, so I'm a big football fan. Football fan.
Yes.
Great.
But I'm not really a fan of this guy. His name's Aaron Rodgers. So if you're a football fan, just hang with me here for a moment. Because Aaron Rodgers believes aliens are behind the mysterious phenomenon and is planning an experiment to prove it.
Oh, God.
Experiment. Mm-hmm. This is the guy that makes $50 million a year playing football. He's got the money to experiment. All right. New Jersey residents have been baffled by a series of mysterious drone sightings in recent days, as we've talked about, which is prompting speculation.
Speculation, you say?
I thought to myself, when that came out of my mouth, I think I just added an R in there where it wasn't.
Let's just have a sip on speculation.
At time 39 minutes, we're getting into our first story, and I get my first.
That would be our second story. I don't know if you remember me sharing the story about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base being closed down. I did the first news story, but thanks for paying attention.
That was the story.
He's not known for paying attention, Dave.
No, he's too poor to pay attention. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers, America's savior, is here.
Okay, here we go.
A civil servant.
Yep. Among those weighing in on the phenomenon is New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, known for his fascination with unconventional topics. During his appearance on the Pat McAfee show, hell of a good show, honestly, Rodgers questioned whether the sightings were merely helicopters, pointing to law enforcement's interest and local reports, while hinting at a more extraordinary Possibility.
Wow. Yeah.
Rodgers, as we all know, is not shy about. Nope, I'm not going to start it that way. Let me take it back a second, okay? Rodgers never wanted to shy away from the unusual.
Oh,
man, I cannot wait. How many stories do I have tonight? 2 or 3?
Oh, you have 3, and this is your first one. Yeah,
we're going into
call the liquor delivery service right now.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers never wanted to shy away from the unusual, announced a unique plan to investigate the phenomenon himself. He revealed he would host a 5E experience direct from his New Jersey home, an event intended to initiate contact with extraterrestrial beings. Rodgers described his plan to use meditation and green lasers on a clear night, suggesting the activity could invite otherworldly communication. The 5E experience likely we haven't had a show like this in a while.
Yeah.
The 5E experience likely refers to the CE5 protocol popularized by my favorite doctor, Dr. Stephen Greer, a method focused on human-initiated contact with extraterrestrials.
Yeah. Extraterrestrials. Uh-huh.
I'm already looking for someone to read my second story.
Wow.
Through guided meditation and collective consciousness. Now, I'm just going to add here, for those of you that don't know, Mr. Rodgers has done ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm.
Talked extensively about the opening of his mind. So this is interesting, right? Because that CE5 practice, which I think was in a documentary back in probably last year called Contact, the CES experience, it aimed to foster communication.
CE5. Yeah.
What?
It was the CE5 experience, not the CES.
That's going to be hard to be looking up.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The CE5 experience, which aimed to foster communication by combining intentional focus with deliberate technique. You know the difference there, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Many are skeptical.
It's just
while many remain skeptical is the sentence at hand.
Oh, okay. While many remain skeptical about the drone sightings, Rodgers' involvement has added a layer of intrigue to the story. Whether it's helicopters, drones, or something otherworldly, Rodgers' unconventional approach has once again captured attention, blurring the line between sports and the extraordinary. Or some may say extraordinary.
Now, I don't know if you've seen the new docuseries. I believe it's on Netflix, and it's Aaron Rodgers' Enigma. It's a 3-episode show. I sat down and watched the first 2 episodes because I, unlike a lot of people, am intrigued by Aaron Rodgers. I think he was one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen, playing sometimes for middling teams. But I was fascinated because in the commercials for it, it showed him doing quite a bit with the spirituality of trying to communicate, trying to, he does the ayahuasca journeys. He goes in for healing with the bowls. The guy is pretty remarkable in a lot of those cases. He was also, for those of you that don't know, RFK's choice for his running mate as a VP. To which Rodgers
was?
Yes. Yeah. RFK Jr. wanted him to be his running mate. But I digress. It's still a really interesting story that I think may shine a new light on Aaron Rodgers, and I think people that check him out might enjoy the documentary series again. It's called Aaron Rodgers Enigma, and I believe it's on Netflix. Check it out. It is pretty fascinating, and the guy talks about intention, manifestation. He shows how he doesn't believe in coincidence. There are things that lead us to points in our life where we need to be, and it's pretty interesting. It's a lot of the stuff you hear right here on this program.
So, Dave, if you don't mind, real fast. We just had someone join the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I've never looked at the chat before, but I took a quick gander here.
Sure.
There's a gentleman by the name of Just Shane. Is that correct? I think his name.
Okay.
Or Shane something or other.
Uh-huh.
And you talk about Netflix, but I believe starring Shane. That's it.
Yeah.
With a hell of a jawline. Look at that.
Yeah.
I believe he knows a little thing about streaming services.
He does.
Look at that guy. He's intense.
Yeah. I believe that Netflix is number 2 on his list. Is that true?
Well, he did star on a TV series called 28 Days Haunted on Netflix. But now, along with his partner Josh Purvis, they have launched Stream Beacon TV, which is the new home for all things paranormal. And as a matter of fact, starting in January, a month away from now, Shane, Cindy, and myself from the Holzer Files are getting back together to start filming a brand new series for that streaming service. And they've got a great selection of programming up already. So I know you're not finding new projects and product out there on TV and in the marketplace. And there are some very unreliable streaming sources out there that claim to be paranormal themed. Stream Beacon TV will be your new home for all things unusual. So go check it out. You are correct, though. And maybe he can get Aaron Rodgers to come on there.
And now, again, starring Dave, Cindy, Shane, Greg Lawson, and Chachi, the 5.
That part's still in negotiation. Yeah. So
I thought we had a deal.
Listen, Dawn Marie weighs in from the chat room. She says, hey guys, there is a CE5 app. I have it on my phone and it tells you how to do the meditation. So if you are interested in trying to communicate and instigate that communication, there is
so the story I just read was actually based on some sort of truth, is what you're saying.
It is very true. Yeah, very true.
CE5 wasn't something I made up.
No, it is not. CES is something you made up. But CE5 is a very real thing. Now, Greg, Aaron Rodgers is not the only hero who's stepping up to face off against the alien races that are plaguing our planet. Who else can we count on to lead this drive and help us understand what's really taking place?
As you know, Dave, I don't work with just anybody.
No,
which is it's actually true, sort of. I look for people that have a lot of credibility, and because I mean, I could get that stank on me, right? If I'm working with somebody that just isn't quite, that stank can get on me, and it'd take a lot of showers to get that off me. So URI Geller says drone sightings are UFOs warning Earth with show of power and superior tech. So they're warning the Earth of that. Celebrity psychic URI Geller has claimed that recent sightings of flying craft near air bases in the United States, Germany, and the United Kingdom are not man-made, but warnings from UFOs with advanced, incomprehensible technology. Geller dismissed suggestions that the sightings are drones, labeling such explanations as part of the biggest cover-up since Roswell. And as you know, I know a little bit about Roswell. He argued, he argued that the craft's persistent appearances over sensitive military locations show that they want to be seen and are demonstrating their ability to evade detection and countermeasures. So he does know the word countermeasures, and I would throw in countermeasures on there. So Geller's claims were supported by TV psychic Deborah Davies, who predicted aliens would soon reveal themselves without fear of humans. In response to the U.S. Senator's suggestion that the crafts could originate from Iranian motherships, Geller criticized the explanation, comparing it to the infamous Roswell weather balloon story. He questioned why the U.S. military seems powerless to stop the crafts, emphasizing their international and public display over strategic air bases. Yeah. Geller believes that the sightings are a deliberate warning from extraterrestrial beings and predicts that their presence will become increasingly undeniable. Reports of similar instances and incidents have emerged from air bases in New Jersey, Germany, and the United Kingdom, fueling further speculation about their true origin and purpose. Back to you, Dave.
I will tell you, and I know this will be a surprise, the photograph you're seeing is not an actual photo.
Man,
I did ask. That's URI Geller. I asked AI, could you show me if URI Geller were to face off against alien craft, what would it look like?
Oh yeah, that's
and
it.
URI, Uri known for bending spoons. They show him chucking spoons up into space at alien craft.
Dude, the AI knows a lot more about us than we know about it. Man, look at that.
That is
guy.
true.
That's incredible. You couldn't have done a better job there.
No, and if you'd like, I will get that on a T-shirt, and you can order your URI Geller versus alien. Only we're gonna have to call it URI Geller, spelled with a Y-U-R-I, so I don't get sued.
Yeah.
So now, do you own that image now since you asked for it?
Yes.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, it's beauty. Cuckoo. All right, let's get moved on. We've got more stories to share. This is pretty exciting. A 7,000-year-old alien-like figurine from Kuwait is a total surprise to archaeologists.
Oh yeah.
And archaeologists in Kuwait have discovered a 7,000-year-old clay figurine with slanted eyes, a flat nose, and an elongated skull, resembling modern depictions of aliens or extraterrestrials, or as Chachi calls them, extraterrestrials. Unearthed at Bahar 1, one of the Arabian Peninsula's oldest settlements from about 5,500 to 4,900 BC, the figurine is the first of its kind found in Kuwait or the Arabian Gulf. Settled by the Ubaid, which is a Mesopotamian culture known for its distinct pottery, Bahara 1 serves as a crossroads of cultural exchange with Neolithic societies in the region. The figurine, crafted from Mesopotamian clay rather than local materials, highlights how the Ubaid brought their artistic traditions to the Gulf. Similar lizard-headed or Ophidian figurines have often been found in Mesopotamian graves, and they're believed to hold symbolic meaning, potentially tied to the identity or social status of the person buried. Some theories suggest the elongated skulls reflect the Ubaid practice of cranial deformation, achieved by wrapping infant skulls to symbolize class or cultural belonging. While the figurine's features appear otherworldly, its design was typical of Ubaid art during the 5th millennium BC. Discovered in a mundane activity area rather than a ritual site, the artifact raises new questions about the Ubaid's ritual and social practices. Ongoing excavations and studies at Bahara 1 may reveal more about the Ubaid's influence in prehistoric Gulf and their ties to Mesopotamia. I think there's a lot of thought going into what looks very much to me like, I don't know, a fourth grader's pottery piece that they made for their parents for Mother's Day. I could be wrong, but it does look like the one alien is holding a suckling baby to her clay bosom. Yeah. So they might have just been celebrating Mother's Day, and in pottery class, it just whipped that sucker up.
That other one looks like some sort of popular ghost depiction of some cartoon thing that I've seen online, but I don't know.
Thank you for that in-depth analysis, Paranormal Detective Greg Lawson.
I'm hurting right now.
Well, Chachi's story did cause us to drink everything.
Oh my God.
Oh God, he's drinking more, and his next story is up. I should have kept that story for him. Talking about Mesopotamia.
Was mine the first story?
No, mine was again the first story, then Chachi, and then me again, because I'm the host of the show. I'm what we call the anchor of the show. So sometimes I talk more. I know it's hard to believe, but if you look back in the records, you'll see it. Chachi,
yeah,
we yield the floor to you, good sir. What is our next story? You have a story to share with us about microbial life from outer space.
I read this one earlier. So I'm just going to say the first story when I read it earlier.
Just read the story.
What?
All you have to do is read the story. You don't have to.
No, I'll explain them.
He wants to explain it. Lucy, he wants to explain it.
We're in minute 55 right now.
This is what we should do. I will, for the show, Dave.
Yes.
I will do one of those things where you put money in the thing. If I can make it through the entire story, without a mistake, I will put $50 in the kitty.
In the what?
I think you should put $50 in the kitty for every time you do make a mistake. Because if you're betting on you not making a mistake, you're never going to pay that up. I'd like it to be reversed.
Reversed?
You heard me, reversed.
Reversed. Okay.
Yeah.
Super short story. Every word is 32 characters long.
That
Here we
is
go.
true.
Ready?
All right. And
grab your drinks, everybody. We got this coming. And by the way, happy anniversary, Bonsai Warrior.
happy anniversary, Bonsai Warrior.
Happy anniversary, my buddy.
Okay.
Worthy of a science fiction movie, they say. Life found in a simple sample from the asteroid Rugu. The asteroid sample A0180, and again, if you didn't have a pen, A0180.
Bingo.
Okay, good. Collected by Japan's Hayabusa 2 probe back in 2018, which was about 19 years ago. Marked a major milestone as the first, Dave, successful retrieval. Is that a V or a B?
You're up to $100. You owe the pot, but go ahead.
Oh, shiz. Marked a major milestone in the first successful retrieval of asteroid material outside lunar missions. However, recent analysis revealed Earth-based microbial contamination.
Very good.
Despite strict precautions. Rod-shaped and filamentous microbes resembling known terrestrial organisms were in fact discovered, likely infiltrating the sample.
Yes.
During preparation.
The word is likely. That's the next word in the sentence.
What was it?
Likely.
What did I say?
You said nothing. You just froze after discovered.
Okay. The contamination raises concerns about planetary protection measures, which aim
$200. Yes.
Aim to prevent Earth-based life from spreading to other celestial bodies. With upcoming missions, let's be honest, NASA's Martian soil sample retrieval, one of the big ones, ensuring sample integrity, is critical to avoid compromising the search.
Compromising, you say?
Terrestrial life. The incident also impacts the studies of the panspermia hypothesis, Dave, which, as we all know, suggests life or its building blocks could spread between planets and asteroids. Now, listen, disappointing, no doubt about it. Some of you are really torn up about this. But the ragu contamination highlights the challenges of maintaining pristine conditions and underscores the need for improved protocols in future space exploration missions.
Can I just point out David Colholio? Colholio. I'm butchering. David Cornholio says, I'm sorry, I can't understand a word he's saying.
I don't think I've seen that name before. So, Dave, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Dave. Yeah. Mandy loves you, though. You're doing a great job.
Mandy, you're my favorite. I don't care what anybody says.
That's true. Go ahead. Was that it?
Are you kidding? There's more? No, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, you are correct. Now, he said panspermia properly. So congratulations.
Listen,
on that one.
That's my favorite word, Dave.
Obviously.
At Christmas, I love to give out a bunch of panspermia.
Deb from SAC throws $5 at us tonight, says, fun show tonight, Dave and the dudes. That is the name of our traveling band, and you can see us.
Even the dudes.
At the
Can
Sugar
you imagine? Can we just take a moment here? I mean, between how much I know about music and how much Greg knows about music and how much Dave knows about music, Dave and the dudes could hit number one.
If by number one you mean peeing in the same urinal, I would agree we all can still do that.
In Texas, that's called a trough.
Carl Hutchinson weighs in and says, I'm English, and he is slaughtering the English language.
Carl,
however,
welcome.
the prickly prick jumps in and says, so good to have our drunk bastard back.
Good Lord.
That's right.
Slow down.
Hashtag Scotchy. It is good to have you back.
Oh, those are the good old days.
Yes. Very good. All right.
I feel like Chachi turned into Alfred Hitchcock, like right there at the end.
Let's do this. Let's give Chachi a chance to sober up as we go.
Or refill my glass, Dave.
Well, that's kind of what I meant. Sober up by refilling your glass. We're going to take just a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.
It's the holiday season, a time of giving, receiving, and maybe even answering life's most mysterious questions. What better way to bring joy and clarity to yourself or a loved one than with Love and Lotus Tarot Readings by Winnie Schrader? This December, give the gift of insight, empowerment, and a little holiday magic. Because when you buy one tarot reading, you get one free. That's right, buy one, get one free all month long. Whether you're curious about the past, seeking answers in the present, or wondering what's in store for the future, Winnie's loving, empathetic, and accurate tarot readings are the perfect way to connect with what matters most. Choose a cozy phone reading or a face-to-face video session. Perfect for this festive time of year. Visit www.paranormal60.com and click the Love and Lotus tab to learn more and book your readings. Again, that's www.paranormal60.com. Click the Love and Lotus tab. This December, the best gift is to give and receive with Love and Lotus Tarot Readings by Winnie Schrader. Don't wait. Book your readings today and make this season truly magical.
And thank you to all of those who have already booked your readings. Make sure that you take advantage of that buy one, get one free. It only goes through the month of December. She's extended it all the way to the last day of December. So if you purchase one, not only do you get one, but you can gift one to a friend, relative, coworker, or Chachi, whatever you'd like to do. So please check it out now. Yes.
You didn't give a price for how much to have her come to your home and do it.
It's you couldn't afford it. It's one of those, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Dave, are you sure?
I know you could afford it, Chachi.
Oh,
I'm talking about
I don't want to see his name. Sorry.
Yeah. The rest of us in the real world couldn't afford. I can't even kind of shenanigans. All right, Greg.
Yeah, we don't all live at Drone Lake. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about some science, since we were talking about drones and those sorts of things. Let's talk about NASA scientists detect parallel universe next to ours where time runs backwards, and apparently it doesn't run backwards in this show because we're at 62 minutes. Anyway, so a groundbreaking experiment in Antarctica, that would be down at the bottom, not like the Arctica, but Antarctica, which would be down.
She's my favorite aunt.
Yeah. So a groundbreaking experiment in Antarctica by NASA's Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, which I would have just named it Anita. But anyway, the Antarctic So Impulsive Transient Antenna has discovered intriguing evidence suggesting the existence of a parallel universe. Anita, designed to detect high energy cosmic particles, found anomalies indicating particles traveling backwards in time. How does that happen, Dave? I don't know. Let's continue to read. A phenomenon that defines. Oh
man, have a drink. That's Greg for $50.
That defies conventional physics. This discovery has sparked new discussions about the nature of reality and the cosmos. Cosmos.
I don't think that's a word.
Cosmos.
It's okay. Cosmos. I would think that most would be an E or something on the end, but Anita detected high energy particles known as tau neutrinos. Emerging from the Earth's surface rather than descending from space, an anomaly previously thought impossible due to Earth's dense core blocking such trajectories. Lead research, or it could be lead research, right? Could be lead. Peter Gorham theorized that these particles might hint at a twin universe creating that was created during oh my God, here we go.
Wow. How do you stumble? It's almost like the Colonel's back.
Okay. Particles that might hint a twin universe created during the Big Bang where time flows in reverse, not like the beer that I'm drinking. And the laws of physics operate oppositely. Huh? How's that, y'all? Oppositely. While the findings are groundbreaking, they remain controversial with the scientific community. Some researchers, like astrophysicist Grant Lewis. How'd you like that? Grant.
It's just Grant. It's not Geraint.
No, it's Geraint, actually. Lewis. He's Welsh, and he was at Cornell, and now is he's the guy that did the whole.
I think it's Geraint. Thanks for playing.
Geraint. Well, he's Welsh, like I said.
G-E-R.
There's a British guy on here.
A-I-N-T. Geraint.
But anyway, he's the guy that did the dark energy and all that stuff. Anyway, he argues that this undiscovered particle behaviors could explain the phenomenon without invoking a parallel universe. Similarly, Pat Scott of the University of Queensland emphasizes that while the concept of multiverse is plausible, it is only one of several possible explanations. Although not conclusive proof of a parallel universe, Anita's findings challenge existing physics and invite further investigations into the mysteries of the cosmos. While this discovery redefines our understanding of reality or uncovers entirely new dimensions, it highlights how much we still have to learn about the universe. And that, Dave, makes sense to me.
Agree.
That is the greatest comment of the year.
What? I didn't. What are you talking about?
Zack says this is better than sleeping pills.
This is the greatest comment of the year. And there have been some amazing ones.
My neck hurts.
Poor Deb.
Oh my God. The Bonsai Warrior says, just to be clear, it is my birthday, not my anniversary.
Bonsai, come on now, buddy.
Come on, man. Either way.
Who gave you a shout out on your day?
Dawn Marie says, man, I hope there's no quiz at the end of this show.
Wait a minute. That is a great idea. Can you imagine 5 questions that we throw up on the screen?
That's it.
So people have to answer.
And the first that answers them all correctly gets to go to sleep, I guess.
It's to go to bed. Yeah, exactly.
So, earlier, Deb said, I would love to visit Dave and Winnie at home. Now, Deb, I've done that once.
Yeah. Just think of Tiger King.
I was there for 11 days, Deb. There is no getting out once you're there.
It wasn't even willingly that he was here.
Just watch the show Tiger King. You'll know everything you need to know.
There's only 2 things in Dave and Winnie's house. Peanut butter whiskey and McRib sandwiches.
No, McRib sandwich wrappers.
Crappers? What?
Wrappers.
Oh,
just the empty wrappers. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Hey guys, big news. Don't know if you heard about this. Huge news in the paranormal world and horror industry. Zack Baggins is back, and he's launched a horror movie production company called Scarehouse Films. Paranormal investigator Zack Baggins, best known for hosting Discovery Plus's long-running series Ghost Adventures, is expanding into horror cinema with the launch of his production company, Scarehouse Films. Funded by a multi-million-dollar investment, the company plans to produce 3 independent horror films in 2025. Baggins, a prominent figure in the paranormal field, has built an empire as a television host, author, and operator of a haunted museum. In addition to his television success, which includes creating shows like The Paranormal Challenge and Deadly Possessions, Baggins ventured into filmmaking with the 2018 documentary Demon House. He recently collaborated with filmmaker Eli Roth on The Haunted Museum, a semi-scripted series inspired by the haunted artifacts in his Las Vegas museum. Baggins' 3-year deal with Discovery Plus ensures that Ghost Adventures will remain a top franchise on the platform through 2024. Beyond paranormal entertainment, Baggins has made appearances in unexpected places, such as serving as a guest star on Food Network's Halloween Wars, where he inspired Baker's spooky creations, And now, with Scarehouse Films, Baggins is poised to further his influence in the horror genre while continuing his paranormal pursuits. Genre. Did you hear that? The paranormal genre. Nothing? Nothing. Got nothing? All right, good. Chachi, your final story is here, sir.
Not ready.
Yep.
Not ready at all. Dave, could I just ask, if I
You
read
may.
the story, could I just get 30 seconds at the end of the show to share some big news about the show?
Sure.
Wait till you hear what I say.
Okay, let's hear what you've got right now, though.
This one bothers me.
Okay.
The demolition of the most haunted nightclub, Bobby Mackey's. It's raising some ghostly questions, Dave. You've been to Bobby Mackey's, right?
Oh, multiple times, yeah.
Okay. The demolition of Bobby Mackey's, long considered the most haunted nightclub in the country, is actually complete. Is that right, Dave?
It is. You're reading the article. It's right there.
Well, the article says nearly complete. I believe it's actually done at this point. Here's what concerns me. Questions still remain, though, about the legacy of Bobby Mackey's. And a good friend of yours, Laura Rowland, who has led paranormal tours of the venue for decades, described frequent reports of shadowy figures, apparitions, mysterious voices, and even physical interactions, like pushing, shoving, things that you don't want to do in the bedroom. The uncertain nature of paranormal study raises speculation about whether the spirits will remain tied to the land or tied to the building. And this is a question I've had for probably 25 years. Do things happen because of the land or the building? Well, Laura explained that spirits could be attached to either one of them. If it's tied to the land, they're going to linger and haunt whatever is built on the site. However, if connected to the original building or its contents, the spirits may dissipate, which would be absolutely horrible. With plans to construct a new nightclub on the property, she believes there's a strong chance the paranormal activity will continue in the future. For now, Bobby Mackey's temporarily relocated to the old Mugby's in Florence. Owner Mr. Mackey plans to open a new venue on the same site in 2026, leaving the fate of what I consider pretty legendary spirits to be an eerie mystery, Dave. Now, what I don't know, why did they tear down that particular building?
Have you ever been to Bobby Mackey's?
Dave, I don't have that kind of money.
You're right. You don't. And that's why I've been there multiple times and you have not, because that's not a place you would probably frequent. Bobby is a very nice man. It is an old establishment. It is very, when I say rustic, I might be a little too kind in saying that. Uneven floorboards, some dodgy looking wood. It was a place that probably should have been closed, a good decade ago for refurbishment.
Let's be honest. And Greg knows this better than anybody.
Right.
Nobody wants dodgy looking wood. Right? The older the wood gets, the more dodgy it is.
Yeah.
So you believe by them bringing in new wood, strong, young, viral wood. It's viral? Oh, yeah. No.
I think you meant virile.
Virile.
Dave,
you don't want viral wood.
Do you think the activity will continue once the new wood is installed?
Once you've inserted the new wood, I'm sure that a whole new plethora of things are going to open, because you've got to, if it is a portal ground and you're adding new wood right into the portal, I think you could be stirring up more paranormal activity, kind of inseminating the entire area with spiritual resonance.
All because of the new wood.
Yeah. Because old wood, flaccid old wood that's fallen in on itself is really of no use for the living or the dead. Greg knows what I'm talking about.
You showed a photo a moment ago of them beginning to demolish the building.
Do
you know what happened to the old wood?
Like in most cases, it's just forgotten about.
So like that wood will just go away.
If he was smart, he would be selling chunks of that wood on eBay.
Greg pretty much sells chunks of wood every time he goes to a paranormal conference.
Let's move on. Greg, it's time for your final story.
Oh, we got another. We're going to do a story?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm ready to
That
get
was
started.
a story. If you were paying attention, Greg.
I was ready to get started. I couldn't
They're
tell.
almost 60, Greg. We do a little podcast every week.
Couldn't tell.
Some of us do, Chachi.
There we go. You're talking about Zack Baggins. Let's talk about Museum of the Shadows. You know, it's very popular to now open up museums and things like that with stuff. So Museum of the Shadows in Pensacola.
Museums without stuff is just an empty building.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it would be a very interesting museum, right? You could just do rooms. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, so
you just meant. I'm sorry.
Let me read the title here. Museum of Shadows opens in Pensacola, boasting some of the most haunted artifacts in the U.S., and that would be standing for the United States.
What part of Pennsylvania? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, Pensacola, Pennsylvania.
No, Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, Florida. All right. So I don't go down there.
Yeah.
So the Museum of Shadows, which recently opened in Pensacola, shows a lot of stuff, and it showcases a vast collection of haunted artifacts, including dolls, Ouija boards, and even a human skeleton. Imagine just being that guy and go, man, I should open up a museum of the paranormal. And you know what would be unusual for me to have in a museum of the paranormal? Let's do dolls, Ouija boards, and human skeletons. I bet no one has ever thought of that before. So we're going to move on with the article. At the center of the eerie exhibit is Claire, a doll tied to a chair said to display demonic behavior such as scratching and occasional movement. And I'm not sure what kind of movement that is. Chachi, would you know?
It's occasional. They just said it in the article.
All right. Owner Nate Ratterman, who also operates the original Museum of Shadows in Nebraska, claims to own around 5,000 haunted objects, receiving donations worldwide. Other notable items include a haunted mirror that goes dark, a doll that's reported to blink, move, or cause paranormal disturbances, and other stuff. The museum offers a spine-chilling experience bathed in dark red light, where visitors use flashlights to navigate and are warned not to touch the artifacts. Ratterman also conducts ghost hunts and offers paranormal tools for rent, including spirit boxes used to communicate with entities. A standout feature in the 10-minute sit challenge, where participants endure a dark room surrounded by haunted objects like a demon Ouija board and misty portraits. Those who complete—
I dated her in college, Misty Portraits.
Mystery Portraits. Yeah, she's wonderful. Those who complete the challenge without tapping out get to sign their names on the wall. Ratterman, a paranormal investigator since 2006, believes in other dimensions and attachments to specific objects, embracing the unknown rather than fearing it. With plans to bring the museum's most famous artifact, Ada, is that how you pronounce that? Ida?
Sure.
A doll voted the most haunted to Pensacola. The location promises to have increasingly unsettling experiences for those fascinated by the paranormal. Makes sense to me, Dave.
Sure does. Greg, thank you for sharing the stories. Yeah. And we are now at our final story.
Wow.
Of the evening.
Can I read it?
No. I'm going to take this one.
Chachi.
So I can make a quick mention. But first, I do want to mention Missouri Paracon is going to become one of the biggest Paracons in the United States. It launches February 28th through March 1st at the Ameristar Casino Hotel in Kansas City. I will be there along with Shane Pittman, and the paranormal detective himself, Greg Lawson, will be on hand. Who knows? Maybe even Chachi and the Colonel we might have most of the cast and crew of the Paranormal 60 attend. I would invite Tressa, but she hates you people.
So what, Marty, he's just still working on his contract? Is that what the deal is? That's what's holding him back, is getting his contract.
He worries. He's very big in the industry to try to help people that are going through bad times. And we'll just leave it at that. But we thank him for the work he's doing as a greatest American hero. Thank you, Colonel. We miss you and love you.
Could I go to that?
Yeah, come on. The tickets are for sale right at darknessevents.com, Chachi. You'll find the link and information for Missouri Paracon, and you'll be able to find out all the other great guests that'll be there as well. So sure, join us, Chachi. It'd be great to see you there.
Is that going to be at the Belvoir Winery?
No, I think I just told you it is going to be at the Ameristar Casino Hotel in Kansas City.
And for those of you who've never been to the Ameristar, it is absolutely beautiful. I think there's like 8 to 10 restaurants in it. It's huge. It's really nice. Very well done. So I did a walkthrough a couple of months ago, and it was absolutely really nice.
Dave? Could you get me a discount?
I can try. Yeah, Greg and I have got this contractual thing where we don't just let anybody in, though.
I don't feel like I'm part of the team.
You are, in a very far out there way.
Hey, Chachi, you know the size of the bar there in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This bar is a little bit bigger. Little bit bigger.
What happens when Chachi goes to the bar in Michigan?
He buys for everybody.
I buy for everybody.
Everybody.
I'm pretty sure you could get me a 2% discount.
I will try my very best to get you 2% discount. Let us go to our final story. Thousands of near-death experiences point to an afterlife, according to a researcher. The phenomenon of near-death experiences, or NDEs, has captivated Dr. Jeffrey Long, a cancer specialist turned researcher who now firmly believes in their authenticity and potential evidence of an afterlife. Over decades, Dr. Long has documented over 5,000 NDE accounts from individuals across diverse cultures, religions, and languages. His findings reveal consistent themes, including out-of-body sensations, encounters with deceased loved ones, and vivid experiences of light or heavenly realms. Despite the varying details, these accounts share striking universality, transcending personal beliefs of life experiences. Dr. Long established the Near-Death Experience Research Foundation in 1998 to collect and analyze these testimonies. His research highlights key observations. Nearly half of NDEs involve out-of-body experiences. 75% of participants express a reluctance to return to life due to feelings of overwhelming love and joy, and over 50% describe witnessing a heavenly domain. Furthermore, nearly all participants report losing their fear of death, viewing the afterlife as a continuation of existence rather than an end, while only a small percentage report encounters with God or Jesus. These moments are deeply transformative, often reshaping participants' spiritual beliefs. Beyond research, Dr. Long's work profoundly influences his approach to patient care. He openly shares his findings with interested patients, offering comfort and hope in the face of terminal illness. His conviction in the existence of an afterlife allows him to provide reassurance, emphasizing that death is not an end, but a transition to a peaceful, loving existence where reunions with deceased loved ones await. For Dr. Long, his work is not just about advancing science, but also about fostering peace and resilience in the face of life's greatest uncertainties. And that's it for tonight. That is your news, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spending some time here with the Paranormal 60 news crew, the only news you need to know. And as we say goodbye tonight, we're going to turn the cameras over to Chachi for his 30-second final discussion point of the show. Dave, Chachi, the floor is yours.
As I was thinking about 2025, we have such great fans, and I would really like us to host an event where we do a live show from a location where we bring everybody in. We provide the alcohol. Dave, could you provide the alcohol? I think you can. Oh, Dave's coming back. And Dave said no. We will provide a location where for a small nominal fee, by using your credit card, they will provide alcohol. and we will do a live show where we will interact with the audience. David, Greg, welcome back. I thought this was just me talking to the audience.
It was, but you're starting to unnerve me with your promise of free booze and free
One
places.
of the greatest shows in the history of the Paranormal 60 News was when we were on the Jericho cruise, had a couple of fantastic wrestlers with us, and we were interacting with the audience, took questions live. Do you remember that, Dave?
I do. I do.
2025. I'm not saying where, I'm not saying when. Can we, as a news crew, commit? We will identify a location to do at least one show in 2025, Dave.
I will agree to that. Greg?
You heard it there first, folks. There will be a show in 2025 where
you
everybody will be together for a short weekend. And when I say short weekend, probably 2 to 4 hours. Knowing Dave, most likely in Minnesota.
No. We'll do some
potentially at Dave's house, potentially at Dave's front yard.
Yeah, probably not. But we will talk about it, Greg. We should have Chachi on more often, and we'll discuss this. But I would love to have a full live event where we're all together.
And then I would go to.
Just won't stop. We will get together in 2025 with you, our Darklings, and we would love to see you there. Hopefully we'll be able to get the Colonel, maybe even Sweet Tea involved, and we will have a weekend of fun and live shows. Greg, are you in?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Good. All right, Chachi, it looks like it's a done deal.
She is not full of sweet. She is somebody who is saccharine sweet, and for that reason, she may or may not be at the event we hold later this year.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back again Friday with a special edition to make up for Monday's show being canceled due to connectivity issues. We will be back Friday night live right here on the only place you need to visit for the best in paranormal talk radio. I'm Dave Schrader, and this is the Paranormal 60.
Wednesday night and I'm alone. The Paranormal 60's on. It's just for paranormal freaks like me, with poltergeists and ghosts and blues and UAPs. You miss a word, you do a shot. It starts to snowball and we laugh a lot. It's just like drinking with your TV friends. I'll be passed out before tonight's show ends, dreaming the aliens are taking me away. I'll go wake up till sometime late on Saturday. It's Wednesday night and I'm alone. The Paranormal 60's on. Schrader's on. Schrader's on. Schrader's on. Sweet Tea, Chachi and the Colonel and the Paranormal Detective, all we traders copy and they all will be corrected. He's got protective bracelets and some crazy magic tricks. Even Scully cannot save him from the voice of Stevie Nicks. Schrader's on. Schrader's on. Wednesday night, don't be alone. The Paranormal 60's on. Now one day Dave might even put me on the show. There's a ghost in my mom's basement, man, I live down there, I know. It's Wednesday night, don't be alone. The Paranormal 60's on. Schrader's on. Words is hard.